You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That makes official. Welcome to the big show. As always, for 16 years, the longest, oldest running recording podcast that records daily. We're a handful of the oldest still left after almost 20 years, and we're the only ones that we know that are still doing a daily show 3 times a day, actually, Monday through Thursday. Presenting our wonderful audience with just the most brilliant minds, the greatest stories, the most inspiring people, and all that good stuff.
Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not endorsement or review of any kind.
Today's featured author is brought to you by Majestic Authors Media, specializing in strategic marketing and publishing to help authors reach their ideal audience and maximize their book success, turning powerful messages into global impact, one story at a time. Today we have an amazing young man on the show. We're going to get into his book and talk about his works. He's done a lot of books and has been writing since his childhood. His book is entitled The Entity Game by Jimmie D. Robinson. We're going to get into this book here that he has and talk about some of his other works. He grew up on the west side of Chicago. At age 16, his family moved to the south side of Chicago. During the 60s and 70s, he saw many gang fights and police brutality. He enjoys reading adventure, historical, and science fiction novels. His favorite authors are Frederick Forsyth, Stephen King, and Alex Haley. His favorite kinds of movies are Western, martial arts, and science fiction. Sergio Leone and Bruce Lee are the best. I would agree. Those what they call those spaghetti westerns. The Sergio Leone, was it Good, Bad, and Ugly, and but they used to call them spaghetti westerns because he was Italian. The best television shows are the original Star Trek and Outer Limits series. I'll let you argue with everyone on that one. He listens intently to jazz, R&B, soul, and classic rock music. He gravitates to open-minded people who do not judge or stereotype other people. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Hey, everything's okay. How you doing?
Everything's okay, Jimmy. Some sauce, man. Give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find you in the interwebs of the sky?
Where will I find me on the .com?
Yep. Interwebs, social media, that.
Oh, books for sale on Amazon. I'm on Amazon.
On Amazon?
Yeah, there it is. I think I'm on TikTok too. Okay.
And do you know your TikTok handle off the top of your head?
Huh?
Do you know your TikTok name, handle?
No, I will have to look it up.
Okay. Yeah. If you send it over, we'll put it on the Chris Voss Show, but we'll have a link to your Amazon book on the show. People can find it.
Okay, thank you. That's
Jimmy,
the best way I should do it to do the right. Okay.
So, Jimmy, go ahead and give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside your book, sir?
Okay. The book is The Entity Game. It's the future science fiction space explanation. It's 2-3 groups in space trying to get to this metallic vault on this planet that has a lot of energy. And it's an unknown energy source, but they have to get to it. The intelligent apes, they want it for their power. The humans want it for their power. Another group called the Chromanians, they want it for their power. They all battling for it. When the vault blasts open, energy come out, but not like they think. And it knocks everybody out on the planet, all the males. The group that's in the energy source, they strive on male testosterone. The male testosterone gives them energy and it excites them. They love it. It's like food to them. They go through each of the men on the planet that have been knocked out to their ancestors. The ancestors are Vikings, Zulus, Western outlaws, ninjas, and they bring the best to this planet from the past so they can all battle each group. And the entities enjoy the testosterone during the battles. Now, like I say, they all take away sports, anything there's guns, etc. It's going to be man-to-man combat. And then whatever group wins, they got a prize. The prize is thousands of beautiful women, naked women, whatever, that's to their disposal.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Sounds like
also
a dream I had when I was a teenager.
Yeah. And see, I was thinking about when I used to write things, how most men, prize is women.
Yeah.
Yep. And also, another prize is they'll go back to their time period or planet with over $1 billion worth of whatever currency they want. Gold, diamonds, silver, if it's paper dollars, whatever it is, over $1 billion. So they going to go back as a king, billion win. But they got to win this battle. There's 50 group in each battle. It ain't going to be no advantage if all you got guns, you got knives and whatnot. It's hand to hand. And with all that going on, it's going to battle up. Now, another thing, it ain't going to just take place in battles. My book will show each group what they are about, their philosophy, how they feel about life, etc. It won't be no long, drawn-out thing, but give you a basic idea what each group is about. People in general know, so I give them a better idea. So like I say, it's Western outlaws, it's some Indians, it's some Chinese monks, Vikings, many, many more. Wow. And so when the battle started, it was going on. Now there's a subplot about some female people that the entities don't pay no attention to because they have very little testosterone. But the female groups is going to save the main characters because they're going to take advantage of the idea that the entities and paying them no attention. The female group that's on the spaceship, they paying attention and they know how to work control. They're more intelligent than these entities realize. And they the ones, yeah.
Is there any way we could get some quiet in the background? We're hearing people and phones ringing.
Hey, Sherry, y'all got to be quiet. They hear you.
Forget it off. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy. We just want to give you a great show and
I understand.
have people interrupt you. So now this is set in year 2129.
Yeah, I figured that's pretty good.
Elite team of space defenders.
Yes.
So 100 years from now, is that 100 years from now? I'm getting tired and old, I guess. I think it's 100 years from now. 103 years from now.
Yes.
This is going to take place. And now, do you have a protagonist, a main character by chance, or is it spread out among all the different space defenders?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. The main protagonist is the captain. Really, the federal space defenders, they are the main protagonist. But another group, they closely protagonists, but they got some attitudes, and that's the Space Marines.
Yeah, it's the Space Marines. They always got attitudes, those Marine guys.
Yeah, but they, along with the Federal Space Defenders, so they protagonists, but you know how. And I got the idea from Sergio Leone, because the good guys almost bad as the bad guys, etc. Yeah. And what gave you the idea for this book? What was the inspiration?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked that. Ever since I was real young, me and my brother and a few other people, not many, used to love to see ideas of groups against groups. Okay, you got the Justice League against the Justice Society. Different groups. You got World War II, the Nazis against the Russians and the Americans, different ways. I used to always dream about if I could bring them all together, what would happen without, usually a group would side with another group. I said, I don't want them to side. You always, any movie, any book you see, is one group against another. What would happen is, I used to say 5 or 6 groups. As time went on, I said 10 or 12 groups. As time went on, I said one more groups, and they all against each other. Nothing to gain except the beautiful women, the gold, so they can't take sides. Just like in jail, you have your groups, your black groups and your white groups and your Latino groups. But if everybody got to come together, it's interesting, but if everybody got to fight for a common goal, it's even more interesting.
Yeah. Battle of good and evil and adversity and all those things. Right. Now, you mentioned you've been writing since a very young age. Now, how young how was it when you started writing?
Really, just have for fun. I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, back in my room, just write. I might see something or read something and say, I would do it this way and elaborate my way.
Oh,
yeah.
The inspiration there was kind of like maybe making something your own, taking and making something unique to you.
Yeah, elaborate. Yes, on whatever that I really like something.
Yeah. What was the driver back then? Was it a science fiction novels you might have read from other people, or books you may have read, or teachers, or what kind of inspired you to start writing?
Okay, like I say, the original Star Trek, the Sergio Leone movies, Bruce Lee movies, the comic books of the Justice League, the Avengers, all of them. And they used to have a lot of comic books, be collaboration where everybody's fighting. That's the main source. It's others, but that's the main source.
That's really good because I grew up in the same sort of thing. The Sergio Leone movies, let's see, there was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And then, I think Clint Eastwood was in all of them.
Yeah, he's the main one. Fistful of Dollars. And
Fistful of Dollars, yeah.
Yeah. And you was asking me about the protagonist. Yes, he was a protagonist, but you see what he did.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Fistful of Dollars. I think there was another movie.
For a few dollars more.
Oh, yeah. A few dollars more. Yeah. You're bringing it back. Remember, I'll never forget him. He swings that. It looks like he's wearing a rug half the time. He swings that, I don't know what that's called, but swings it over his shoulder.
Poncho.
And poncho. Thank you.
And
poncho.
Another interesting, because like I say, it's very interesting when the protagonist is not all good, when they got a little
flavor.
Yes. Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon. Protagonist, but see what he did. He did some rotten stuff.
Plus, a lot of heroes, they're human, so they're imperfect.
Exactly.
So they have flaws. They have fallacies. They have issues.
Hey, I'm getting too much background noise, y'all. Okay, and also the James Bond, Sean Connery, protagonist. You see, he was
Connery,
yeah. And I got a little bit of that in the book too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So there's so many different perspectives. I brought them all together. I'm trying not to talk too fast on everybody. He can't get everything in, but you'll get the idea as you start reading it.
Yeah. Now, you've been writing from a very young age. Right. How many books have you written, and how many have you published that people can find online?
This will be my first published book. I gave up on it 15 years ago, but then when I retired and I was in the hospital, I ain't going to go into details. I sat there and I said, I might as well get my bucket list and go for it. And so now I'm going for it, and it seemed to be working out. But,
but you've written lots of books, I think you may have mentioned, that haven't been published.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first one.
Congratulations.
Yeah, really. I just had to make up my mind. Yeah.
Sometimes practice makes perfect, and once you get the first one out, then there's more coming. Do you have some more in the can that you're planning on publishing here soon?
If this work out, I got to get to work. I got to rewrite a whole lot of them. I want them to be right. The character, I used to just write and get to the action, but the character, which my writing teacher told me, moves the plot on a little bit better. In which I did this in this book. In the past, I was just too eager to get to the plot, the action, but the character moves it along much better.
Yeah. It certainly does. Now with the books, how do you usually write? What is your pattern for writing and developing characters? Do you sit down for an hour a day, or do you have a certain time that you spend? How do you keep consistent? Some people have trouble with the consistency in writer's block.
Okay. And I don't get much writer's block. I formulate, especially when I was younger, formulate a book and decide what it's about. And I go and write it down right quick. But like I say, it wasn't fully developed. Just this person did this and this person was an agent, whatnot. They got to it and they whatnot. As I got older, I said, you got to tell more about the character, get into the situation.
Yeah, you got to get in there.
And but like I say, I don't have much writer's block. In fact, a lot of times I got to slow down on just the adventure or the action or the lovemaking to what the character was about and then blend it in. Yeah, lots of time I had to do that, but very seldom I get writer's block. So when I get an idea, I wake up in the middle of the night, start writing it down.
Sounds good. The writer's block can be hard for people in developing characters and things. Now, did you always write science fiction in a lot of the early writings that you were doing, or did you bounce around in different genres?
I wrote a lot of science fiction, but I slowed up because it's a lot of technology and words you got to pronounce right. So for a while there, I was writing Westerns. A couple of times I was writing about martial arts. I wrote a few short stories of between men and women situations. And a variety in which you will see in this book too. Yeah, with a couple of chapters and you go to the next chapter, it's going to be totally different. It's going to all blend in. But say you're writing about something that's happened in China, then the next group, you're writing about Western outlaws. Somebody will say, what they got to do with each other? It's going to all blend in. Street violence, jail violence, different groups, but it's going to all blend in. But I want to give a synopsis about what each group is about. And I used to write like that when I was younger.
Yeah. And why do you like that subject so much? Does it make it easier to invent things and make it work?
Yeah, it just holds interest. It makes things more interesting, whatnot, with something that's kind of different. Many times television show, you figure it out, oh, it might be a movie, what's going to happen, and I'm just sitting there and figure out this is going to happen. But when they surprise you, I've been saying, yes. I know The Matrix, it surprised me a lot. And Star Trek, it surprised me a lot. Yeah.
It sounds like you were able to watch a lot of great movies and a lot of great films, a lot of great characters. How important is character development in the thing? You and I both share a love of these same films with Clint Eastwood, and some of the characters that were in the bad guys in these movies were great too with their characters.
Yeah,
and really developed and fleshed out. How important is it to take the time and make sure that you really develop your characters, and how did you maybe approach that in the book, The Entity Game?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. When I retired and decided to write serious, that's when I realized it was very important. When I was younger, it was just my own personal guilty pleasure. I want to get to the plot. I want to get to the action. I want to see what they're doing, who did they kill, etc. My teachers, a couple of people pointed it out. So when I retired, I slowed down and said, let's do it right.
Yeah.
Come down to the characters. Yeah.
And it really does come down to the characters, because you can have an awful plot, but sometimes a great character can carry a movie.
Exactly.
I've been to some movies where the movie in the script was horrible, but just the power of the actor, maybe a Sylvester Stallone or an Arnold Schwarzenegger, or whoever it is. There's lots of great actors in Hollywood. They can carry the movie, and you can walk out of the movie and go, I enjoyed that movie. I really love the character. I don't know who wrote that script. And the character is like really everything, because that's the thing people fall in love with. We have a lot of authors on the show that have, I don't know what you call them. They have these, I call them branches, but they have these storylines where they have multiple books going across one character, and this one character, he's always solving some sort of crime in this book and that book and the next book and the next book. And so they have these series that are running. And so they like to see how that character not only develops in the first book, but how he develops over time. And of course, some of the things he gets into. And people really get hooked on the character of a book. It's really a big deal for them.
And that's what I was saying. Each chapter will show the character of the main Indians, the characters of the main Vikings. Not long, just give you an idea. So when they all come together in the future, whoever the reader is going to be rooting for whoever they like.
Yeah. Now, you in this book, you have some groups of men that come from different historical countries.
Yes.
You mentioned Vikings and stuff. This is set about 100 years in the future. Now, how did they get all these historical men to come together? Is there? I don't want you to give away anything in the book you don't want to give away because it's a novel. But is there maybe time travel involved, or how did they assemble these guys? If you can tell us.
I'm so glad you asked that. The entities they let loose from this vault, which got power, they knock out the Federal Space Marines and the other groups in the future. But they go into their subconscious mind, backtrack in their mind who their ancestors are. So in their mind, these certain people in the future, their ancestors from 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, they related. One guy is related to a Viking. He has no idea. Another guy is related to a Western outlaw. He has no idea. Another guy is related to a ninja. He has no idea.
Oh, wow.
And another guy, and you see it all through. And then when they bring all these guys
from the past up who's related to the guys that they finna fight, they have no idea. They say, okay, we'll fight them, and the main thing that the entities want, they want that testosterone, which feeds men from the past who was not as civilized as now had a lot of testosterone. We got it, but they hate it way more. But the ones nowadays, like the gangs, etc., I'll say even the space defenders, they testosterone going to elevate when they know to survive, they got to fight. Yeah. The testosterone level is going to elevate a lot.
It sounds like a hell of a room. A lot of testosterone and chest beating. Me strong.
A couple of the apes
the gym.
A couple of apes that's intelligent.
There's apes too, like Planet of the Apes types or something.
Yeah, but they found out their ancestors is from Earth. You get it? Yeah. That's kind of wild. So they're gonna more testosterone.
Yeah.
And the entities, they love it. They love it more and more. But like I say, a subplot with the female, they're gonna say, okay, I ain't gonna say what they're gonna do, but a lot of intelligence on how they're gonna dissolve the problem.
Yeah, you need to have a balance of testosterone and estrogen. Even I have a estrogen problem right now, where I've been taking testosterone supplements, TRT replacement, testosterone.
Can't make you aggressive.
Yeah, but unfortunately, my body's been a testosterone eating machine most of my life since I've been fat. So we just did my tests, and I have way too much estrogen going on right now. So we're dealing with that, but which may explain why I'm crying every 5 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So anything more we need to know about what you're doing there? What about your website? Is there any upcoming stuff on your website we need to know about? Any speaking, coaching, consulting, anything like that?
I'm hoping I can call you back and give you all the information, etc.
Okay.
Because, like I say, I just got into this computer type stuff after I retired.
Yep.
So
you want to have a website so that they can market it. But just let us know what the links are when they come up.
Oh, okay.
So as we go out, give people a final pitch out to pick up the book and order it up wherever fine books are sold, Jimmy.
I didn't hear you. What?
As we go out, give us a final pitch out to the audience to pick up the book.
Okay, to the audience. I know a lot, especially young men when I was young, even now, like a lot of action-packed adventure book. But it's got a good plot, and it will tell about each group. It just don't go into the action. It shows each group what they are about. They have no choice but to go into the action when the entities bring them to the future to fight. But you have an idea about what each group is about. A good idea. I think you'll enjoy the book.
I love that you finally got your book out, and I would say dig through that rich history you have of some of the stuff you've written, and maybe you can find little tidbits or ideas or compiles out of it, and it'd be interesting. Maybe you can make the Entity Game 2, a follow-up sequel to the book. Maybe
I already started writing, and I'll let you know my idea. It won't be nothing like the first. The basic, yes, but some things will be the same thing. It will not be the same thing, except for the basic plot. And then it's going to go into another direction.
Maybe you can do a plot where everyone has way too much estrogen. That could be you'd flip the plot.
I like that. You just gave me an idea.
Just put me in the dedication.
You just gave me an idea.
Christopher is good ideas. All right, Jamie. Well, we'll look forward to whatever work you're putting out next. Thank you very much for coming on the show, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks, John, for tuning in. Order up his book wherever fine books are sold. There'll be a link for it on the Chris Voss Show. It's entitled The Entity Game.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure thing, Jimmy. What's up? What
you just said just now, estrogen, what went through my head is predators and Klingons. Just now, just a second.
Predators versus Klingons?
And other creatures. I know it's going to end up being more, but on that level. It just happened just now.
All I can say is if just make the predators sexy, because they're kind of not really sexy. So if you're going to make estrogen predators, somehow make them sexy, whether devoweling people and killing them.
That sounds even better.
Give them a nice rack. Well, thank you very much, Jimmy, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTok, and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.